YouTube, what's good with y'all, man? Gniady back here with another video, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to become a better Madden player. All right, so recently I've been getting some comments under my YouTube videos asking me what can I do to get better at the game. How can I get better at Madden? I'm going online, I'm not having a hard time, I'm struggling, I'm going into weekend league, I'm playing in a franchise, etc., stuff like that, and I'm struggling to win games, right? Or, you know, for the most part, like, I'm playing guys who aren't that good and I'm struggling against them as well. So either whether you're in Ultimate Team or outside of Ultimate Team, whatever it is, you can go to practice mode, which we'll go over in a second. But the first thing I want to touch on before we get into the practice mode to kind of show you what I would recommend, right here I'm running offensive playbook as my Lions playbook and alternate defensive base 4-6. Those are the playbooks I run inside of Ultimate Team, and even outside of Ultimate Team I tend to pick those playbooks as well. So that's the first thing I'd say. Get some playbooks that you're familiar with, are comfortable running, where you know the formations inside them, the plays inside them, etc., stuff like that. But let's go ahead and hop into practice, and I'll show you guys what to do when we get inside. So hop into practice, right? The first thing I want you guys to do is go through the playbook you have and find at least 2 formations that you're comfortable running. So for me, I love running gun bunch and gun tight. Luckily they're right in order and right next to each other, makes it a lot easier to audible and stuff like that. So gun bunch, right, you can go like this. You can set audibles where you press L2, set your audibles, and you pick which of the 4 plays you want to switch. So if I ever do put an audible, I tend to put, like, let's say bunch trail in there for me. So verticals is like the main one I audible to, etc. But I'll usually start my plays running something like a base or something like that to start off. So have a play that you like to start off with to get your offense rolling, get an idea. So the main reason I run a base or something to start off is because I like to get an idea for what they're running on defense. So I get to see this guy's in cover 3. Obviously it's me, but anyways, I'll get over to the defense eventually. But like I said, have 2 different things, 2 different plays you like to run. You can audible between formations, so square, left on the D-pad, and then R1, and then I can switch over to another play in gun tight. So that's why setting your audibles is important at sometimes, you know, that way you can switch between formations and have the plays that you want to have, etc. So you snap this play. This isn't a good play against cover 3. That got pretty bagged, but you know, you kind of get the idea of what's going on there, right? So have 2 different formations you can run out of offense. Gun bunch, gun tight for me. I can even go to single back if I really wanted to. Goal line, obviously for the goal line, sometimes I'll run goal line. Like within like 1 to 2 yard line area is where I'll be running those plays. So just have that in mind of where you might be running, because once you get inside like the 5 yard line, it starts to get hard to run plays, right? So maybe go to like a verticals or something, because if we watch the X receiver right here, he's gonna split that right away and get open, and that's like a 5 to 10 yard play. You only need about 10 yards of space to make that throw. So that's why even when you're at the goal line, it's still an open and easy throw to make. So have those couple formations in line, stuff you can switch between formations. Flipping plays can really throw a defense off, stuff like that. So that's my tips on offense. Let's go to hop to the defense side of the ball. So as far as defense goes, I would say the first and most important thing is you need to have linebackers and safeties on the field, as well as your best players, because that's how it's going to make it easy for you. So looking at this right here, so let's actually go ahead and take a look at this this lineup right here. So at my linebacker position, I have Steve Atwater, Cam Chancellor, and Sean Taylor. Those are my 3 linebackers, right? Then we go over to my cornerbacks. We got Charles Woodson, Antonio Cromartie, Julius Pepper over the safety spot, Calvin Johnson at the other safety spot, and then Champ Bailey. So safeties and corners, you want to have at your linebacker and safety position, and obviously the corner position as well. But your linebackers, they should be safeties or cornerbacks. That's the most ideal situation because they get a good animations and allow you to get a lot more picks in situations you might not. You could put a linebacker there with lurker if it gets it for 0 AP, etc. If he's taller, whatever you like to go into, that's what I would do for those. So just to give you an idea, right, I usually start off in something like a cover 3, have an idea. I run nickel 3-3. You can run nickel 3-3 over. So this is nickel 3-3. I can go left on the D-pad to go to nickel over. This brings the guys closer together right here. It's not as good in bunch, you know, I wouldn't audible to it. If you're going to come out in something like this, it's a little bit harder to flip between formations in on defense than it is between offense, because if you're running man, the man line can get all screwed up, etc. So I would come, if you're going to run man, come out in whatever formation you're going to want to run to start off that game, and then proceed with that play. And then if you really have to, then make an audible adjustment throughout that. So I can go to man right here. I can go to a zone and cover 3, and then this is how I kind of look right now. So coming back into that play, right, have an idea of what the different plays you are going to want to run. Luckily for me, I tend to run cover 3, cover 2, cover, you know, linebacker blitz 0. These are the 3 plays I run. On top of that, I'll run cover 4 as well. So they're all right in a row. If I call cover 3 right now, I'll be able to audible to linebacker blitz 0 or cover 2 drop. Either way, I'll have basically the only audibles I'll need in this formation. And on top of that, I'll run dollar, stuff like that. You really could run only one formation if you wanted to the entire game, but it's also good to have these couple extra formations. Nickel I can run because it has some decent blitzes, a lot of good coverages. I get all my linebackers on the field. Dollar, you're gonna give up the run a lot, so just keep that in mind. If you're gonna play against someone who runs the ball a lot, dollar is not a good formation, okay? Just keep that in mind. But DB Fire 2 is a very, very good blitz if you want to be aggressive and the guy doesn't send his running back out too often. Spinner is good, or if it's a long situation where the running back going on a route doesn't really matter that much, spinner is also good as well. DB Fire, you have a lot to watch out for. You can get guys on the outside streaking up the field. That tends to get open against cover 2. So just be careful for that. This is more of, you need a quick blitz and it's going to cover for the most part the short and middle parts of the field. But if you're going to be having someone who's going to block this for a long time and is actually going to be able to pick up this blitz, it's not a good idea because it will expose a lot of the field and get it open. But dollar, I like to run that. If you're going to be running against somebody who likes to run the ball a lot, nickel over is pretty good against the run. You know, being able to shift your line, having guys out there. You might even want to put a linebacker out on the field if you're going to be running against someone that's running the ball all the time, because the safeties aren't going to be breaking up the blocks as well as a linebacker would, or even like a defensive tackle, outside linebacker, D ends, etc. You can put really anybody at that linebacker position to clog up the run. Having, you know, for example, I have let's look right here. We go over to the top for my D tackles. I have William the Fridge as a backup for me because he has inside stuff. Warren Sapp only has 0 AP under pressure on him because I think under pressure is super good, and he tends to get off the block pretty well anyways. But if I want to go ahead and put that inside stuff there, I have that option available to me. So that's kind of my thoughts on defense. I like to run under pressure. Terrell Suggs, he has 1 AP under pressure. Aaron Donald has 2 AP edge start elite, so I'm trying that out right now. It's not the greatest in my opinion so far, so I might have to get rid of that. But Warren Sapp 0 AP under pressure, super duper good. I love this card personally because of that. So just keep these things in mind when you're making your adjustments and having these players on your team who you should have on the field for what situation. In reality, defense is a very situation based thing, right? So if a guy is going to be running, you know, over the middle of the field a lot, then you got to keep that in mind, right? They're going to be using that or running a play where the midfield is going to be clogged up. If he's going to be running, you know, shallow routes a lot, you want to put on your hard flats right here. So you press triangle underneath, it gives you some hard flats, or you can manually adjust them to be in a hard flat, because hard flats do actually play that super duper well. If you got coming out a wheel route, maybe man up the wheel or take the running back. So when I run man, I come out in a formation like this. press, shade inside, shade over top, then I'll user Julius Peppers, and I have the running back, right? That way it allows the most amount of people to be blitzing at one time to try to get the most amount of pressure possible. Don't want him to get the ball out quickly, right? That way I give time for my blitzers to get there, or have them scream. That way he has to get it out quickly and maybe make a mistake staying in man. Usually the man will stick a lot better at the beginning of the play than it does when the play starts to develop for a longer amount of time. Gives the receivers a longer amount of time to try to get separation, etc., stuff like that. So we'll see how this play comes out once they snap it right here. So play action, the blitz just screams through right there. So play action is not good if you're gonna be playing against somebody who's blitzing a lot. But overall, this is basically what I would say. You need to have an idea. Same thing as it is on offense. Have a couple formations you can go to, couple plays, have your audibles ready, etc., stuff like that. But on defense, get an idea of what the guy's doing. If he's streaking both these guys, right? Let's say Tony Gonzalez is going on a crosser route this way, and then Marvin Harrison is going on a streak this way. It's going to be hard for you to use her both, right? And this little hook curl is not really going to be guarding either of them. So you could man up Marvin like this, and then I would say you just need to use her Tony Gonzalez across the middle. A lot of people like to snap throw their stream streaks a lot, as seam streaks a lot as well. So that's a thing you might see commonly on when you play online. So you can kind of bait people into throwing them. You can kind of lurk around right here and then sprint straight to it to pick it off, stuff like that. So that is something that does tend to happen a lot, these deeper routes. So if someone's gonna be running a lot of streaks, shading over top helps a lot, especially if you're running man. Man is getting worse by the day. So getting some sort of zone developed on your team and being able to run zone effectively, I think is your best friend. And then at the end of the day, practicing playing the game as much as possible, seeing what people run. The more you see what people run, the more prepared you'll be for playing better competition. You know, if you play someone that's really good, then obviously in the moment that's going to suck, but in reality you're going to be making yourself better, because you'll see what these better players are running and be more equipped to kind of understand what you should be running. And if your offense works against somebody who's really good, then that's a great sign. If your defense works against somebody that's really good, you're in a good spot, right? But everyone's gonna have kind of a little bit of a different offense and defense. Nobody's gonna be exactly the same, right? There's gonna be a little bit of difference in between everybody. So just being able to see what someone's doing and adjust to that, and have an idea of how you would adjust to somebody and what they're doing, is very, very crucial to being good. It goes both ways, offense and defense. Making adjustments to someone's defense, making adjustments to someone's offense. That's what's going to win you games. And being smarter than the other person and having more knowledge of the game, etc., is also going to be a big advantage and most likely going to win you these games, right? So that's my honest opinion on what you guys should be doing and my tips on how to become a better Madden player. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please comment down below what you guys want to see next. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
S1, I was the best one. You thinking way back, you should have kept them. You always question all of my methods. I try to hold you down, I just want you around. I swear that you don't check your phone. I be pulling in the coupe.